Hi, first grade. Today we're going to read an informational text. Informational texts are non-fiction, which means you're not going to find fake information, you're going to find real information about a topic. Today our topic is Coney Island. So let's go ahead and get started, and before we get started, as we read, you probably want to ask yourself, what are some words that you don't know the meaning to? And we will be stopping to get some clues to find out what those unknown words mean. Now let's get started and read our title. It's called How Coney Island Came Back. Coney Island. I'm wondering, where did it come back from? Why does it say came back? What happened to it before? So let's go ahead and read about that. All right, let's start here. Our heading says, Welcome to Coney Island. It says, Coney Island is a part of New York City. It was a very popular place more than 100 years ago. Back then, people loved to visit Coney Island's amusement parks. They really loved one called Luna Park. So an island is a place that's surrounded by water. And on Coney Island, it said that people like to visit Coney Island's amusement parks. So think about a park. Think about what you know are found in parks. And ask yourself, what would amusement mean? Look at the clues around it. It said people love to visit Coney Island's amusement parks. How do you feel when you go to a park? Do you feel excited? Are you having fun? If you're having fun, you're probably being entertained. So let's see if we can say entertained here instead of amusement parks. Back then, people loved to visit Coney Island's entertainment parks. Would you be entertained at a park? Would you be having fun at a park? So maybe amusement park. Think about amusement. What does that sound like? Amusement. Maybe you're amused by it. All right, so those are some clues that you can also do with other words when you don't know the meaning to it. Look around for clues. Let's go ahead and take a look at this illustration here. It is a map of Coney Island over 100 years ago. It says Coney Island, New York City. So Coney Island is found in New York City. And here it says Luna Park. That's where Luna Park was. And then you have Dreamland. Well, here I read about Luna Park. I did not read about Dreamland. So now, using information from this photograph or this illustration, I can say that I learned that Coney Island had two parks, amusement parks in it, Luna Park and Dreamland on Coney Island. The words did not say that. The words only spoke about Luna Park. So I got more information from the illustration. All right, it said, Welcome to Coney Island. Let's continue to read that section. It says, a man named William H. Reynolds made plans for a new park. He would build it near Luna Park. Reynolds wanted his park to be better than Luna Park. He called his park Dreamland. Okay, so as we saw in the illustration, the parks were near each other. So here's a photograph. It's in black and white because it is 100 years ago that this park was around. It says Luna Park over 100 years ago. So this is what the park looked like. Let's go ahead and read Building Dreamland. This heading says Building Dreamland. So ask yourself, what do you think we're going to learn about in this section? Dreamland. About what for Dreamland? Building. How Dreamland was built. So let's read how Dreamland was built. William Reynolds copied Luna Park's rides, but he made his rides bigger and better. Luna Park had a boat ride. Reynolds made a bigger boat ride at Dreamland. Two boats raced down a steep ramp and into the ocean. Look at this old photograph. It says, this is Shoot the Chutes boat ride at Dreamland. That's what it was called. So I see a boat here, a boat here. They're going up, up, up in that direction. And when they get to the top, ask yourself, what's going to happen? The word said that the two boats raced down a steep ramp and into the ocean. What do you think steep means? So when they get to the top and they go straight down into the ocean, that's a steep fall. That's when you fall from high up straight down. Let's continue to read how Dreamland was built. Reynolds copied the buildings in Luna Park too. Luna Park had a tall tower in the park's center. Dreamland had a taller tower. People could see the tower lights from miles away. So here's a photograph. It says the Dreamland Tower. This is what it looked like. Oh boy, Reynolds really copied a lot of stuff from Luna Park. But he wanted to make things bigger and better. Is this bigger than Luna Park's tower? Yup. It said so. All right, so that's how he built Dreamland. All right, this next section is called The Roaring Fire. So this has something to do with a fire. It says, Dreamland was a fun place. It was popular for 7 years. Then something terrible happened. Workers were using hot tar to fix a ride. A fire started. People think some hot tar spilled and started the fire. Oh, that's pretty sad. All right, this looks like, and I'm not sure if that's an illustration or a photograph. Let's go ahead and look at the caption to see what it's showing us. It says, the fire at Dreamland. So that's what we're seeing. It's a fire happening at Dreamland. And really small, it says, Coney Island's biggest fire disaster. Panoramic view of the ruins of the burned district. So this is after the fire. And what's left of the park after it ruined the park from the fire. So his park only lasted 7 years. Most of Dreamland was made of wood. It burned fast. Hundreds of firefighters came, but they could not save Dreamland. All the rides burnt down. The tall tower collapsed. No one was killed, but Dreamland was destroyed. All right, boys and girls, that tall tower collapsed. Okay. What do you think collapsed means? Let's go back to this tall tower. If I said that this tall tower collapsed, what do you think that means? Let's look at the words around it for some clues. It says all the rides burnt down. The tall tower collapsed. What could collapse mean? Luna Park stayed in business for many more years. Then a big fire destroyed it too. Oh no! So remember that other park, Luna Park, that was made first? It was going on after Dreamland was destroyed, but then even Luna Park had a fire that destroyed its rides also. All right, this is a photograph of Luna Park. And we're going to read the caption to see what's happening. The captions are underneath the photographs. It says, firefighters putting out the Dreamland fire. So we see them with a hose, watering it down, hoping to stop the fire. Oh, that's pretty devastating, pretty sad. The island had 2 parks. Now, at this point, it has 0. Let's read about Coney Island today. What it's like today in Coney Island. There were other amusement parks at Coney Island after Dreamland and Luna Park. There is even another Luna Park at Coney Island today, and people still love to go there and have fun. The new Luna Park on Coney Island. All right, boys and girls, so we're looking at a photograph in black and white still of Luna Park. It's in black and white right now because this is a copy, but this is currently now. They probably did lots of rides. They had to because the old rides were made of wood and did not survive the fires. I've actually been there before and it's pretty fun. All right, so today is Monday and your task is to write down any words that you did not know the meaning to. So on your Google form, go ahead and write down the words you did not know the meaning to. Did you know what collapsed means when it said the tower collapsed? If you don't, go ahead and write that word here and try to look for some clues to help you find the meaning to it. If you didn't know what steep means, you can add that word here too. All right, record one question that you could ask someone about the text. Remember, boys and girls, a question must begin with a question word like who, what, where, when, why, how. So make sure you start with one of those question words and end your question with a question mark. And go ahead and answer number 3 and 4. Why was Coney Island popular more than 100 years ago? Is it because A, it was an old place, B, it had an amusement park, or C, it was part of a city? I would go back to the text to look for why it was popular 100 years ago. Number 4, what material was most of the Dreamland Park made of? I remember what it said the park was made of. Was it A, tar, B, water, or C, wood? Go back to your text to find out your answer.